Hello guys, Dan here from Dan's Tech, and in today's video guys I'm going to be bringing you a graphic card comparison between the GTX 950 and also the GTX 750 Ti. Now the 950 is the newer card, it's running on the Maxwell architecture, so this card is a little bit faster than the 750, I'm just going to say that straight off the bat, but it is a little bit more expensive, and one thing I'm wanting to work out in this video is which card works out to be better in terms of price to performance. Now, although these cards are different, even though the prices are different to where you're living, what you're going to be able to work out in this video is which card is better in terms of performance in relation to the money. Once I've shown you all the benchmarks, I do work out the average percentage increase by using the 950 over the 750 Ti. Now, just as for the specifics on the cards, this is an MSI OC variant of the 950, and then for the 750, I'm going to be using my sister's card, which is the 750 Ti. This is for the Win edition. This card does feature two fans, but in general, both these cards are overclocked, so in general, it's a fair test. And it's going to be interesting to see how much faster the 950 is over the 750 Ti. As I've said, it does cost a little bit more, but if the performance is more than what it costs in terms of the performance, it's going to mean that the 950 or the 750 could be better. I don't know which card is best. I haven't done my benchmarking yet, so without further ado, let's get into it. And I'll let you guys show you which is the best card in terms of price to performance. So to get us started on this comparison, for each game I'll be testing the GTX 750 Ti first, then we'll be moving on to the 950 second. Each card will be running exactly the same settings in game, and as 3 of the 5 games are online, I'll be sure to jump in to the same map with about the same amount of players on the server. This is, if anything, the most fair of a comparison I can make with online games. So first up for good old Battlefield 4, the 750 Ti does very well indeed, drawing an average of 71.6 FPS. More than playable and was having a great gaming experience. For Battlefield 4, this is the only game I wasn't 100% sure about, but I'm sure this was set to the in-game high preset at 1080p. Overall, high settings treated this card very well, and with the GTX 950 installed, I observed an increase in frames to 95.6 FPS. A 34% increase, very respectable, and shows that the 950 is faster than the old 750 Ti by quite a bit. Moving on to Killing Floor 2 at the Ultra preset, the 750 Ti looks to be drawing around 49.7 FPS. Very good frame rate again, but not that butter smooth 60 FPS. Switching out the 750 Ti for the 950, again the FPS increased to around 66.2 FPS, a 33% increase and a very smooth experience. Again, shows that the 950 is quite a bit more powerful than the older 750 Ti. Next up we have Fallout 4 at the medium preset. This game is quite demanding at 1080p, so with the 750 Ti it was pushing about 41.5 FPS. This game is frame rate locked, so the FPS figure might seem a little bit low, however this is simply because the high frames above 60 cannot be counted towards the average. Swapping out the 750 Ti for the GTX 950, this pushes about 11 FPS more at 52.8 FPS. On average, a nice boost of 26%. Moving on to GTA 5 Online, using a custom NVIDIA defined very high custom in the GeForce Experience program. With the 750 Ti installed, it looks to be pushing out 62.0 FPS, a very healthy number indeed for this game. Swapping out the GPU for the 950, the frames increased to a very nice 75.4 FPS, a lower increase of 22%, however still very good for a game as large as GTA 5. Finally, moving on to a lifelike game in terms of graphics, Need for Speed 2016. Although my testing was done at an NVIDIA defined medium custom in the GeForce Experience program, the game still does look incredibly impressive. As for numbers, the 750 Ti was able to push out 51.6 FPS, with the GTX 950 being able to push out 63.25 FPS on average, a 23% increase. Moving on to temperatures and also total power draw for both cards, the 750 Ti hit a maximum of 74 degrees while playing Battlefield 4, and the system as a whole pulled a maximum of 200 watts exactly. This is with the i7 4790K overclocked to 4.4 GHz, combined with 16GB of DDR3 memory, 2 mechanical hard drives, a SSD, a PCI Express Wi-Fi card, and 2 fans strapped to the CPU cooler. On the other end, the 950 hit a maximum of 62 degrees, being 12 degrees cooler. As for power draw, the 950 looks to be pulling slightly more power at 239 watts maximum, 39 watts more, despite myself expecting this card to actually pull less from the wall. Overall, as for the average performance increases for the 950 over the older 750 Ti, this looks to be 28%. The performance increases for all games were between 22 to 34%. Pricing for both cards are different in all parts of the world, but as a general rule of thumb, if you can find the GTX 950 to be less than 28% more money over the 750 Ti, then the 950 is the better card in terms of price to performance. Of course, if you want the extra performance and are possibly looking towards S-Line in the future, or just have a little extra cash, the 950 could be the card for you, and is what I would personally recommend, offering better performance overall, as we've seen. So guys, yeah, thank you very much for watching. We have worked out that 950 is quite a bit more powerful than the 750 Ti, but yet again it does cost more. Now I haven't told you which one is best in terms of price performance, but one thing I have told you is the average percent increase you're getting by using the 750. So you can work out which one's best in terms of the price of these two cards wherever you live. We get butchered here in the UK for pricing of computer components in general, so yeah, I ain't gonna just say in this video which one's better. You've got to work it out based on the price of which you get the cards, and say if you are shopping for these two cards, say on eBay, so you're looking to get a second-hand version, that might vary again. So as again, I'm not mentioning which one's best, you've got to work that out, and based on what I've said, yeah, you can work down, so that's all good. So yeah, without further ado guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to head out of here, and yeah, if you have any comments or anything like that, do feel free to post them in the comment section. And yeah, without further ado, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.